The period surrounding the issuance of banana money, 1942 to 1945, was marked by significant political upheaval, particularly due to World War II. Following the Japanese invasion of British Malaya in December 1941, the region was occupied by Japanese forces. The occupation represented a drastic shift in power dynamics as the Japanese military sought to establish control over Southeast Asia, challenging the colonial authority of the British Empire. The political climate was characterized by the imposition of Japanese rule, which included the suppression of local governance and the establishment of a military administration. Economically, the region faced severe disruptions during the Japanese occupation. Prior to the war, Malaya was known for its prosperous rubber and tin industries, which were crucial to the global economy. However, the occupation led to significant economic challenges, including shortages of goods and inflation. The Japanese military administration prioritized the extraction of resources for its war effort, often at the expense of local needs. The introduction of banana money was part of a broader strategy to manage the economy and facilitate transactions in an environment increasingly marked by scarcity and instability. Socially, the Japanese occupation drastically altered the lives of the common people. Traditional social structures were upended as the Japanese authorities imposed their governance and sought to integrate the local population into their war economy. Ethnic divisions became pronounced, particularly between Malays, Chinese, and Indians, leading to tensions that would resonate in the post-war period. Daily life for the average person during this time was characterized by hardship and uncertainty. Food shortages, restrictions on movement, and the imposition of curfews were common. Many locals engaged in subsistence farming, while others sought to adapt to the new economic realities by participating in the black market or bartering goods. Cultural practices were disrupted as well, with many festivals and communal activities either canceled or heavily regulated by the occupying forces. Culturally, the Japanese occupation influenced the arts, education, and social norms in Malaya and Borneo. The Japanese promoted their language and culture as part of their assimilation efforts, leading to a forced cultural exchange that altered local customs and practices. While some communities resisted this cultural imposition, others adapted to the new environment, resulting in a blend of traditional and Japanese influences. Technologically, the era was defined by the challenges of wartime conditions, infrastructure suffered due to bombings and neglect, and the focus was primarily on meeting the immediate needs of the military. However, there were also advancements in communication and transportation as the Japanese sought to improve logistics for their military operations. The general mood during the Japanese occupation was one of uncertainty and fear. While some segments of the population hoped for liberation from British colonial rule, many others experienced the harsh realities of military occupation, including violence, repression, and economic deprivation. The promises of prosperity and a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere, touted by Japanese propaganda, were starkly contrasted by the everyday struggles of the people. Banana money was a colloquial term used to describe the Japanese military currency introduced in Malaya and Borneo after the Japanese occupation began in December 1941. The term derives from the design of the banknotes, which featured images of bananas, a fruit associated with the region and used symbolically to represent prosperity. The notes were issued in various denominations, with the largest being the $100 bill. The primary motivation for introducing banana money was to replace the British pound, which had been the official currency prior to the occupation. The Japanese aimed to establish a new monetary system that would facilitate trade and commerce while simultaneously promoting their military and economic agenda in the region. Following the Japanese invasion of Malaya, British colonial currency was quickly rendered obsolete as the Japanese military sought to assert control over the economy. This created an urgent need for a new currency to ensure that transactions could continue smoothly under the occupation. In 1942, the Japanese administration introduced the banana money as a means to stabilize the economy and encourage economic activity. The currency was printed locally in Malaya and Borneo, which reduced the logistical burden of transporting currency from Japan. The Japanese military distributed the banana money throughout occupied territories, requiring local businesses and residents to accept it in lieu of British currency. The initial acceptance was met with a mix of compliance and skepticism, as the public was uncertain about the stability and value of this new currency. The Japanese authorities sought to control the economy further by regulating prices and controlling the distribution of essential goods. They encouraged the use of banana money by offering incentives for businesses to accept it and penalizing those who refused. This created a dependency on the new currency, as individuals needed it to obtain necessary supplies. Despite the initial efforts to establish the banana money, the economic realities of the occupation soon took their toll. The rapid printing of the currency to meet military needs led to inflation and a decline in the value of banana money, and as a result, the public became increasingly wary of using it, and black market activities flourished as people sought to trade in more stable commodities. Several key factors motivated the introduction of banana money and shaped the financial strategies employed by the Japanese authorities. The primary motivation for issuing banana money was to solidify Japanese control over the occupied territories. By introducing a new currency, the Japanese sought to undermine the remnants of British colonial authority and establish their legitimacy as the new governing power. The Japanese were keen to exploit the natural resources of Malaya and Borneo for their war efforts. Introducing a localized currency enabled them to facilitate resource extraction while maintaining economic order. The currency was part of a broader strategy to integrate the region into the Japanese war economy. The introduction of banana money was also a response to the immediate economic challenges posed by the war. The need for liquidity to finance military operations and support local economies led to the printing of large quantities of currency. However, this approach inadvertently contributed to inflation, undermining the very stability the Japanese sought to achieve. The issuance of banana money involved several key methods. The Japanese established facilities in Malaya to print the new currency, which facilitated rapid distribution and reduced dependence on supply lines from Japan. This localized production allowed the military to control the currency supply more effectively. The Japanese administration implemented strict regulations to promote the use of banana money, including price controls and mandatory acceptance by businesses. This coercive approach aimed to create a perception of stability and encourage acceptance among the populace. The use of military force was a crucial component of the operation. Japanese troops were deployed to ensure compliance with currency regulations and suppress dissent. This often involved intimidation and violence against those who resisted the new monetary system. Initially, many people complied with the new currency due to the pressure exerted by the Japanese authorities. However, skepticism grew as inflation eroded the value of banana money, leading to a lack of confidence among the populace. Local businesses were forced to adapt to the new monetary reality, while many initially accepting banana money out of necessity. However, as inflation escalated, some began to refuse it or sought alternative means of transaction, such as bartering. The decline in the value of banana money prompted the emergence of a black market where people traded in more stable commodities. This underground economy reflected widespread discontent with the occupying forces and the monetary system they had imposed. In summary, the financial history of banana money illustrates the complexity of wartime economies and the challenges faced by occupying powers in managing local currencies. The introduction into this Japanese government-issued dollar was shaped by military motivations, economic exploitation, and the realities of inflation, leading to a unique but ultimately unstable monetary system in Malaya and Borneo. The financial history was shaped by several influential figures during the Japanese occupation in World War II. Two pivotal individuals in this context are Major General Masanobu Tsuji and Tokichi Kagawa. Each played a critical role in the introduction and implementation of the banana money, reflecting the complexities of Japanese wartime administration and economic strategies. Masanobu Tsuji was a prominent Japanese military officer and strategist during World War II. Born in 1902 in Kumamoto Prefecture, Japan, Tsuji graduated from the Imperial Japanese Army Academy in 1923 and later served in various capacities within the Japanese military. His intelligence and strategic thinking earned him a reputation as a capable officer, and he quickly rose through the ranks. Tsuji was known for his assertiveness, pragmatism, and decisiveness. He was often described as ambitious and somewhat controversial, willing to adopt unconventional methods to achieve his objectives. His assertive personality and keen understanding of military strategy allowed him to navigate complex situations effectively. Tsuji's motivations for participating in the administration of occupied territories stemmed from a combination of ambition and a strong belief in Japanese imperialism. He was deeply invested in the idea of establishing a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere, which aimed to unify Asian nations under Japanese leadership. In the context of banana money, Tsuji played a crucial role in the military administration in Malaya, overseeing the introduction of the currency. His decisions were motivated by the need to exert control over the economy, ensuring that resources could be efficiently directed towards the Japanese war effort. Tsuji oversaw the establishment of the financial mechanisms that facilitated the issuance of banana money. His strategic vision included the idea of a localized currency that would replace the British pound and integrate the economy of Malaya into the Japanese imperial framework. Tsuji's assertive nature led to the strict enforcement of currency regulations, ensuring compliance among local businesses and residents. His approach often involved intimidation, reflecting the military's broader strategy of maintaining control through fear. By promoting the use of banana money, Tsuji aimed to stabilize the economy under Japanese control, facilitating trade and resource extraction critical for Japan's wartime needs. Tokichi Kagawa was a Japanese economist and banker who became influential during the Japanese occupation of Southeast Asia. Born in 1905 in Yamaguchi Prefecture, Kagawa was well-educated and held a degree in economics. He began his career in finance, working in various capacities that provided him with a deep understanding of monetary systems. Kagawa was known for his analytical mindset, adaptability, and a strong sense of duty. His background in economics equipped him with the skills needed to navigate complex financial situations, and he was often viewed as a problem solver. His pragmatic approach to economic challenges reflected a commitment to achieving stability in the midst of turmoil. Kagawa's motivations for involvement in the Banana Money Initiative were driven by a combination of necessity and ideology. As a proponent of the Japanese war efforts, he believed in the importance of establishing a stable economy in the occupied territories to support Japan's military objectives. In his role, Kagawa was responsible for the practical aspects of introducing and managing banana money, focusing on its acceptance and integration into the local economy. Kagawa was instrumental in the logistics of issuing and circulating banana money, utilizing his banking experience to design the currency and manage its distribution efficiently. He ensured that the new currency was produced and circulated quickly to facilitate transactions. Kagawa worked to persuade local businesses and residents to accept banana money, emphasizing its importance for economic stability. His efforts involved both educational initiatives and regulatory measures to ensure compliance. As the value of banana money began to decline, Kagawa attempted to implement measures to control inflation and stabilize the currency value, although his efforts were ultimately hampered by the broader economic realities of the occupation. The banana money episode left a lasting impact on the economic landscape of Malaya and Borneo. The experience of hyperinflation and the instability associated with a government-issued currency created a cautionary tale for future financial practices. The reliance on easily printed money without adequate backing or control led to a loss of confidence in government-issued currencies. In the aftermath of the war, the lessons learned from the banana money experience contributed to the formulation of post-war monetary policies in Malaysia and the broader region. The need for sound monetary practices and a stable currency became increasingly apparent, influencing the establishment of the Malayan dollar in 1946 as a more stable financial instrument. The legacy of banana money also shaped cultural perceptions of financial institutions and government authority in the region. The Japanese occupation, alongside the use of an unstable currency, fostered a sense of distrust towards governmental powers, influencing the political landscape in the post-war period. The experiences during the Japanese occupation prompted the local population to diversify their economic activities. The challenges faced during this time led to an increased emphasis on self-sufficiency, resilience, and the development of alternative economic practices, which continued to influence local economies long after the war ended. In summary, the introduction of the Japanese government-issued dollar, or banana money, had profound immediate and long-term impacts on Malaya and Borneo during and after World War II. The financial instability, social tensions, and economic disruptions created a complex legacy that influenced future monetary practices, shaped post-war policies, and offered valuable lessons for both local and regional financial systems. The experience of banana money continues to resonate in discussions of currency management and the importance of public confidence in financial institutions.